Hi there, Rachana. Let's take a look at this new set of essays you've written for us. Okay, let's see what it says here. Preferences, great. Okay. The graph illustrates 6 kinds of movies preferred by young adults throughout the world. Overall, comedy movies were the most liked by both sexes, while animated movies were the least selected. However, the choice varied in the type of movies among both sexes. Let's see. Animation least popular? Well, for both of them, yeah, but certainly romantic movies were less popular among men. All right, anyway. The number of males who preferred action movies were the same as that of females who liked comedy movies, both accounting for 137. Almost equal quantity, we can't really call them a quantity, almost an equal number of males, 63, had preference for animated and drama series. They're not drama series or dramatic movies. Okay, they're drama movies. Not series. Series is like for a television show. Next in line of likes by males was horror movies. Okay, so the language here is a little awkward for me. I would have liked it a little more, how can I say this? More appropriate IELTS Task 1 language. There is appropriate language that we use. So this doesn't really feel particularly like an academic task 1 to me. Let's see. So the number of males, let's also see your order. I'm trying to understand why you talked. Okay, so here's the thing. It would have made sense to me if you had actually said why you're talking about action movies. So what you need to do is you need to describe this information in such a way that it makes sense to somebody who doesn't even have the image in front of them. So, for example, it would have made sense if you had said that action movies were the second most popular. Rather than just tell me that they were the same as comedy movies for women, you should have told me that it was the second most popular film preferred by men. Okay? And then, let's see, what did you do after that? Yeah, so you just gave me these figures, but I don't have any sort of frame of reference. Like, why did you order them like this? So you should have mentioned that action movies were second most popular for men. And then third and fourth most popular were animated and drama. Okay, and then I didn't really like this next in line of likes. That felt for me really, really informal and not appropriate language for a task 1. Let's see. Did you mention? Yeah, you did. Okay. So even though we have 6 different kinds of movies, so far you've mentioned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the other thing about, wait, not 4, 5, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's another thing that I want you to remember. Just because you mentioned comedy movies in your overview, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't mention it again. You very much need to mention it again, but this time with more details. So you went straight into the action movies, but what you should have done is you should have talked about that figure for comedy movies for men. That was really important information, and you've left it out so far. I also don't see anything about the figure for men for romantic movies, and that's pretty important as well. So let's see if you mention it further on in your answer. Okay. Next, the majority of females had interest in comedy movies amounting to 137. That's a little awkward. Not amounting to, but reaching the figure of or with a figure of 137. Romantic movies were the second most liked by females, whereas it was the least liked by males, consisting of 116 and 31 responses respectively. Okay, good. So you did mention it, although, all right, I don't know if I love it here. Let's keep going though. I'll tell you later on my kind of final takeaway about this. The number of, no, it's not the number of likes. This is not Facebook. So, you know, we're not going to call them likes. We're just going to call them the figure for animated movies were 10 fewer or 10 less is fine, yes, than that of horror movies, 54 and 64 respectively. The number of females who like drama movies were 4 more than those who liked action movies. Okay, let's see. So what I wanted to say earlier on was that I would have preferred if you had mentioned romantic movies here, and then you could have referred to it here, but you could have referred to it then in a different way. What you could have said is that it was like 4 times less the figure for females. Okay, so this way we already know the number, and then here you can just refer to it in a different way, showing your range of vocabulary. So those are some of the things I would have changed. Also, some of the language, as I've already told you, felt a little awkward to me, a little not appropriate, like all of those things about the number of likes. I would get rid of it and make it more appropriate to task 1 language. Okay, let's take a look now at your task 2. Domestic and international travel, benefits, drawbacks, discuss the advantages and disadvantages of traveling. Let's see what you said. Okay, it is often argued with a D, not with an S. It is often argued whether traveling within one's home country or abroad is a good decision or not. In my opinion, traveling far and wide is altogether a different life experience. In this essay, I shall discuss the benefits and drawbacks of bath-giving life experiences and national calamities as examples. Okay, well, I'm assuming you meant both here, but still it's awkward. So it should have been a little different. It should have been, I shall discuss the benefits and drawbacks of travel as life experience and national calamities as examples. All right, fine. So let's keep going. A vacation at least once a year, be it domestic or international, comma, is crucial for today's society. Know the. This is because, no comma, when people travel to different countries, it broadens their communication skills. This helps them to interact with people speaking different languages. Another, with an A-N-O. Another advantage of traveling is that a person gets to learn about the culture, traditions, and local cuisines for which the region is well known. Now, since you already used the for here, you don't need the for here. Be careful. For instance, a recent study by the International Tour Association showed that nowadays travelers prefer being among the locals instead of choosing some elegant stay for their trips. This gives them a chance to explore the area better. Thus, traveling increases one's knowledge about the geography and the history of a particular place. Okay. So advantages, you get to know about places, the culture. Okay, fine. On the other hand, when people travel outside their city or country, they can get caught in unavoidable circumstances. This is due to the fact that natural disasters come without warnings. Fine. Travelers sometimes have to face a situation despite no fault of their own. So you have to change around the language here a little. For instance, a recent study by the United Nations found that whenever there are natural calamities, tourists, often get stuck at airports for days. A second disadvantage of the increase in the number of tourists in certain areas is the increase in the crime rates. Okay, this is not a full sentence, so you want a lowercase a, as some locals try to steal. They try to rob and harm the foreigners. Therefore, a well-planned trip can sometimes become a nightmare for a family, not an. Okay? In conclusion, although both have their merits and demerits, my personal opinion is that a person who has traveled is more confident to face life difficulties compared to a person who has never left his or her home. All right, it's fine. There's a lot of awkwardness. There's a lot of punctuation, like missing commas and commas that you shouldn't have had. Some grammatical problems. Nothing really, really problematic, but it's still stuff that I want you to correct. The other thing is that they didn't really ask you your opinion. You decided to give it. So since you gave your opinion, it is more logical that the paragraph promoting and supporting tourism should come closer to your conclusion. All right, we always put the side that we support closer to our conclusion. So that's one thing you need to change as well. Okay, so go ahead and correct these essays. Let's see your next set. Add to your error correction list. Good luck, and I'll be waiting to see what you write next.